All right, Leo, welcome to your retrograde story. I'm Patrick. This is the Hierophant, or this is Patrick from the Hierophant. However that worked, Leo, make it work. I wasn't so for Virgo. Virgo was the first one where I kind of sort of gave a like. It wasn't necessarily premeditated, but it's like the message that was at the bottom of the deck before I even started to shuffle the cards out. And I did it for Virgo because the Hermit came out. And I wasn't gonna do it for y'all, Leo. I was thinking about doing it for y'all, Leo, but then I was like, I'm not gonna do it for y'all, Leo. But then the Sun card came out at the bottom of one of the decks, Leo. So, hey, so Jupiter is giving you the Sun, or Jupiter is bringing the Sun. Jupiter is holding your energy, and Jupiter is a planet of good fortune. It's a planet of expansion, and so Leo, y'all may be building an empire. That literally just came to my mind. Y'all may be building an empire. Now the other cards at the bottom. So I put the cards down, and then the Sun slid a little bit, and it revealed the Four of Pentacles behind the Sun. So things may be a little tight, or you may be keeping things a little tight-lipped right now, maybe. As you're moving forward, I mean, Jupiter is in Capricorn, so it makes sense, I guess, that if the Sun is holding y'all's energy and Jupiter is retrograde right now in Capricorn, then the cards I'm using for the Jupiter retrograde would show that, hey, I'm in Capricorn right now. So I feel like y'all are building and expanding this empire, but it may look like it's slowing down a little bit because Jupiter is in Capricorn. But this may be a time for you to sort of like work on the logistics of things, because I don't know what your chart looked like, Leo, but y'all's fire energy, and sometimes fire energy can get so excited that it's a little, not reckless, but you can miss out on some of the fine details. And so Jupiter may just be telling y'all that, like, you'll be your most successful if you take care of the fine details right now, you know, or you'll save yourself some heartache. Not heartache, sorry. You'll save yourself some headache later. Maybe heartache too. I mean, the Four of Cups is in here where the Venus retrograde is. So maybe save yourself a little bit of heartache. The Four of Cups in this deck speaks to a situation where the relationship, it's like the spark in the relationship has kind of sort of died. And so Venus may be asking you if there's a relationship where it needs to be, if that spark needs to be reignited, you're the whole gosh darn Sun, Leo. If y'all wanted to reignite that spark, y'all could. And I feel like there are times when, a relationship just isn't working, and if there's no sort of like lighter fluid left in the lighter to light it, then hey, it is what it is. But at the same time, if y'all are really feeling it, Leo, if y'all are really feeling the heat, y'all can bring the light. Y'all can y'all can set the whole thing on fire. So, I feel like Aries is more the spark. Leo was like, I don't do anything small. If I'm lighting this up, y'all better be prepared for a volcanic eruption. Be prepared for the whole gosh darn sun. I hope you have your eclipse glasses on, because it's about to get real bright real quick. And then you have the Six of Swords here. And the Moon card is also at the bottom. So the Six of Swords is coming out with the Saturn deck, and the Moon card is coming out with the Pluto deck. And it's interesting that both the Sun and the Moon are here, and the Six of Swords are here. So around, I guess the Four of Cups is Cancerian energy, because I was going to say around the solar eclipse on the summer equinox. On the summer equinox, there's going to be an eclipse. Summer solstice equinox. I knew summer equinox didn't sound right. The summer solstice, there's going to be an eclipse. And so maybe around that time, maybe you're planning some travel, Leo. I mean, it's going to be the start of the Cancer season. It's officially the beginning of the summer. Maybe the sun is about to go meet this moon, or vice versa. Or maybe you're just sort of, coming out of the dark, and you're really going to be taking center stage. Eyes on me, center of the ring, just like a circus. Ooh, these majors coming out of the cut. So Justice and the Moon came out first, and now it's the Moon and the High Priest, or now it's Justice and the High Priestess. So you get the Moon and the Moon, you get the Moon and the High Priestess. Justice is sort of balancing the two, balancing your knowing and your intuition. if there was something that you knew but you didn't know why you knew it, or you didn't know how it would play out, you still may not necessarily know fully how it's going to play out. But Leo, I feel like it's for you to bring light to the situation because you are the sun. And so now that you know, and I just shuffled these up and the High Priestess went back to the cut. Now that you know, Leo, you may, again, like, you're the spark. Archangel of Mysteries, the angel who illuminates the shadow, talking about bringing the light to the night, talking about bringing the sun to the area where this moon card is. I think it may be time for you to act, Leo. Because again, like, you light the spark. You're the whole gas giant sign. Ain't no darkness. Oh my gosh. Followed by, so both of these are Taurian energy. The king, the Archangel of Mysteries is the King of Pentacles energy, fixed earth, and then you have the Holy See, which is the Hierophant. Both of these are Taurian energy. And coming after that is the Queen of Swords, followed by the Star, followed by the Temperance card, followed by the Six of Cups, but I'm not going to, okay, I'm going to take it. So I guess I'm doing this now. It's fine. Real quick, Leo, if you want to skip right to when I actually all have these on the table, I'll put the timestamp in the description box so you can do that. Because I don't know how long this intro is going to go. But so here we have this Taurian energy over here, which is very fixed, but it's fixed in a sort of practical, logical, in a practical way, right? It can also speak to slow movement, and then this Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Ooh, Leo, what y'all doing? Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna go that deep into it. But the Knight of Pentacles is here talking about slow moving energy. It's almost like, you've become a cow where you're a lion. And that could be the energy of, because in the Sahara, the lions eat the wildebeestes. The lions eat the cows, right? The bulls. And so it's like in an area where you should be the predator, you've become the prey. And it's like you've become the prey. I don't know. There's a familial energy here. I've never seen, maybe religious. It could be anything. The Hierophant, the Holy See speaks to sort of institutional structures or organizational structures that can repress. And it's time for you to go beyond sort of the framework that was laid out for you, and it's time to claim whatever is yours, right? The Archangel of Mysteries, she's the angel who illuminates the shadow. And it's almost like this shadow is sort of the basement of your potential that whatever this Hierophant energy represents has kept you in. And like there's a sun energy with this King of Pentacles because, again, like, even though that I feel like that's mostly like a hermit energy, but it's the light in the lantern. It's the light in the dark. It's the spark that gets the fire going, right? I'm talking about a volcano erupting. Well, here's the earth, and then there's the fire inside of the mountain. It's time to release that pinnacle, and it's time for that volcano to erupt. Because it's like you're acting like a cow when you're a bull. And it ain't nothing wrong with Taurian energy, but maybe you have Taurus in your chart somewhere. I don't know. But with this Queen of Swords, it's almost like maybe this is someone that worked its way into your mind. And so maybe you've been going through a period of mental transformation with this Plutonian energy. And it's like, because, so a lot of stuff has been happening in Capricorn, right? We had a Saturn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. We had a Saturn conjunct Jupiter in Capricorn. We had a Jupiter conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Lots of stuff was in Capricorn for a while. And Capricorn and Leo in conjunct. And so it's like it can play out harmoniously through the trine sometimes, or it can play out disharmoniously with that square. And so maybe it's like mentally for you, some things were illuminated that sort of pushed you and propelled you forward, and you encountered resistance in some other ways that kind of sort of kept you stuck. And so I feel like what's ultimately been highlighted maybe is your own shadow with this angel who illuminates the dark, and the ways that mentally you've sort of constructed this sort of system that keeps you from, achieving and reaching your true shine. And then we come into this star, which is the healer. Saturn went into Aquarius. Maybe things lightened up for you. Well, Aquarius, that is your opposition, right? But it's also bringing you this healing energy. So maybe if you do have a platform, or maybe if you are in the public eye in some way, because that's also Aquarian energy, it's like you've been sort of, because I feel like the sun doesn't change itself for anybody. Like the sun is always the sun. Now either you're facing the sun and it's daytime, or you're not facing the sun and it's nighttime. But you're always orbiting around the sun. The sun is never orbiting around you, even if it gets even if it turns to night. That's because you have your back on the sun. But, and maybe this institution sort of speaks to the pulpit that you've gained because of this star. Oh my gosh, how long is this going to be? Because we ain't even started yet, but I guess all of this is kind of sort of the background. But maybe, Leo, it's forced you to kind of sort of look at yourself in a way that you've never considered before. Maybe you realize that you were kind of sort of, it's not that you're shining too bright, but maybe there were some things that were too close to you and that were getting burned. And then there were some other things that were too far from you and they weren't receiving your warmth and your light. And so this healer is almost bringing things into perspective, even though this isn't a hangman energy. It's like this healer is bringing things into perspective by the bodies that you have orbiting around you. Because in some ways, your friend circle and the people and situations you have orbiting around you are a reflection of you. Just like how it's like the moon orbits around the earth, but the earth orbits around you. So the moon, through its association with the earth, orbits around you, and the moon is what reflects your light. And the moon card was at the top of the deck before I sort of shuffled this up, right? And then we have this angel card, which is temperance. So I feel like this is definitely about you sort of reevaluating how close certain people and situations are to you. Again, it's like if it's too close, it'll get burned up, but if it's too far, it won't receive your light and your love. And now there are planets and there are creatures and there are situations that thrive in the cold, that thrive in the dark, and there are planets, people, situations that thrive in the heat, right? It's all sort of dependent upon, in one element, it's where you want them, but at the same time, it's kind of sort of where they fit in. And with this angel card, it's all about learning to balance it. And then we have this memory keeper, Six of Cups, which is sort of all about rewriting your story. And so maybe there were things that you kind of sort of kept close to you. And again, coming out of this Hierophant, because again, in this deck, the Holy See is all about going beyond this organization, going beyond this institution to discover who it is or what it is for yourself. And so with this memory keeper, it's like maybe there were certain people or situations that you were keeping yourself in or that you were keeping close to you that you kind of sort of realized were sort of perpetrating and perpetuating this sort of negative hold that wormed itself into your mind with that Queen of Swords. But this Six of Cups is about you, and especially with this healer and the alchemy and the angel, this is about you sort of healing that, revising that, redefining this, and then restructuring how things orbit around you. And as you go through this period and this moment of restructure, that's what's really going to be defining the empire that you sort of create and build for yourself. Oh, that's some good energy that came right after. Oh, and here you go. Oh, well, I'm actually for these, since the moon is Cancer, instead of using the Strength card to be your significator, Leo, I'm going to be using the Sun. Because I just felt it. I actually felt it before I even made it to Leo for these. Especially in this deck. I was like, hold up, wait, rewind. The moon is Pisces. Yeah. Yeah, this is how I wanted to do it. The sun is the sun, and because I was like, the moon isn't the moon, and so I'm going to be using strength as your significator, even though it's always your significator. So, sorry, Leo, sorry, but maybe I'll give it honorable mentions to that warrior card. Okay? So then I'm going to rebalance and recenter this around that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be the top of the deck. And you'll see why in a second. Maybe. Because then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Leo. So this is the bottom of the deck. Right, this would come in the middle right here. I'll keep the face up because I'm keeping that, and then this would be the top. I'm rebalancing, recentering the cards around that sun card, and then pulling the top and bottom. So the top is going to be that Ace of Wands, Sacred Fire, and the bottom of the deck is going to be that Magician. So Leo, what y'all on? Like I said, it's time for y'all to start making moves, Leo. Bottom of the deck is this Archangel of Healing, King of Cups. I feel like Leo is a very, very, very caring, kind, and compassionate energy. And it's very loyal and very loving. And unfortunately, like, y'all are the energy of the sun. The lion is the king of the jungle. So it's almost like, even though lions ain't going around eating tigers or eating hyenas, but it's almost like even to other predator animals, they're still kind of the prey. And so I feel like a lot of times from the outside, what can be most sort of prevalent or most noticeable and observable is the ego and the kind of sort of vanity that is associated with Leo. But that's like because everyone else is sort of looking to you as the king, right? And so sometimes it takes the king to recognize a king, or it takes a king to appreciate the nature and the habits of a king. But yeah, y'all's a very loving energy. And then again, more healing down here. Healing down here. Sorry. More healing down here with this Archangel of Healing. So Leo, y'all, Pluto has been putting y'all in a space of healing for real. You may also have Scorpio in your chart. I mean, we all got Scorpio somewhere. So if you don't have a planet in Scorpio, look and see what house you have Scorpio in. And I know that Pluto is in Capricorn. And that would be y'all's 6th house, I believe. Because Aquarius would be your 7th house. So yeah, that would be your 6th house. Which is it's the house of daily routines and habits and stuff like that. And so maybe something that is your daily practice or something that's been incorporated into your routine like every day. Well, no, I just think it's about, like I said, it's about putting in the time and energy and effort to really make sure that whatever you're building is going to take off, I think that's what it's about. So I'm using the Spirit Keepers Tarot for the Pluto retrograde. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot for the Jupiter retrograde. I just saw the Three of Swords and Death at the cut, so maybe y'all's getting out of that. And Death and the Daughter of Pentacles, so maybe y'all getting out of that too. First card out is the Mother of Pentacles. So yeah, Death and the Daughter of Pentacles. Y'all have matured in some area. And this is Capricornian energy. And y'all's getting a lot of Earth energy. But again, y'all's building an empire, so it's like the things that you need to fine tune and address and make sure you have. I think that's what that sort of Capricorn 6th house energy is. It's like dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's, making sure that you're in a good space before you bring this thing forward. Because a little bit of extra love and care and attention. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm looking for the Strength card, but then there's the Sun right there. So, oh, I didn't even talk about. Yeah, I did talk about the first card down. But you see this? The light in the dark, the spark, the reignition, and then the Sun come out. That's what I'm talking about. And then that Four of Pentacles is still behind that Sun. So this is where that came from. Okay. And then that Capricornian energy from the Mother of Pentacles. Thank you for reminding me. I was like, where did I get that? Crossing your I's, dotting your T's, doing everything right, so that when you take off, it's like you give your empire the best chance that it has to flourish. Looking for that strength card. Looking for strength. Ooh, the Emperor and the Empress were fairly close together. There's that tiger. Go get him, tiger. Leo, where y'all at? Y'all at the top of the deck this time? Ooh, okay. We're definitely... Oh, there we go. I was like, we're definitely getting a lot closer towards the top. Y'all were pretty close to the top last time, too, I believe. And look, there's that King of Pentacles, Taurian energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, that Hermit. I saw that Hermit too. Because I was talking about the 6th house, and I was like, ooh, 6th house, that's Virgo energy. And there's that Hermit. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So bottom of the deck is going to be that Hermit. Then this comes to the middle of the deck. I love using the Spirit Keeper Tarot as an anchor for the energy, so that's why I leave out the major for that, but I'll put it away for everything else. Top of the deck is the Mother of Wands, Aries energy, but also just fire in general. And look at this, another light, Leo. It's time for you to shine, but what's most important is that you shine from within. And I think that's how you really come into that compassionate, caring, loving side of you. And that's how people see that instead of the ego. Like, shine from within. Don't just be a light. Don't just be a star for whatever reason. Like, know why you shine so that you can shine authentically. And at the bottom of the deck is this star. The sun is a star. But the sun is bright enough that when we're facing it, the whole sky lights up instead of just a pinpoint of light. And again, it's also because, you know, our sun is a lot closer to us as well. What does the sun look like from Pluto, right? Is a day on Pluto even a day? Or is it just, you know, like another star in the sky? I don't know. It's interesting. I love this. So we have the star is also a healing energy, isn't it? I'll go for Saturn this time. I'll mix it up. So now we're coming over here to the space of Saturn. I feel like there's quite a bit of story coming up. But oh well, I'll still include the timestamp. Maybe y'all watch it again later. Y'all want to just get right to it. I don't know. I include it for the folks who want it because these videos, my videos are always longer. So, you know, it's a way to compromise. Ooh, there's the Chariot and the King of Wands, where the Queen of Wands is up there. Y'all is really coming into some royal energy. So far, we got court cards, majors, and aces. Alright, this will be the last one. Then I'll give this a 3 cut. And we'll begin. Bottom of the card is this 3 of Swords. So definitely maybe went through some hurt in the past. But again, when it comes to shining authentically, this may have been necessary because this is from Saturn. Saturn is tough, but it always teaches. Like, this may have been necessary to get you to see who you actually are. And then we come into this 9 of Wands, followed by the Page of Wands, which is 10 Wands altogether. I feel like this is about you sort of removing yourself from situations that no longer serve and removing yourself from situations that continue to hurt. Because it's like, you know, with that 9 of Wands, it's almost the energy of like, I've done my time. And I'm not going to continue to do this. What does strength look like in this step? It's a lion, the halo. These are the Kawaii Tarot, and I'm using these for the Saturn retrograde. Oh, and there he is, pretty close to the middle this time. So Saturn is putting y'all front and center. And look, there's that Empress. Did I see the Empress? Oh, I just noted that she was pretty close to the Emperor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very close to the middle this time, Leo. All the other times, y'all was like way off or more off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 38. I believe I did that right. Don't like that 5 of swords, but hey, it is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I did it right. Top of the deck is going to be the Wheel of Fortune. This goes in the middle, and then these come underneath. So the bottom of the deck is going to be this 5 of Swords, and left presiding is the Ace of Swords. So maybe this is why you're in this 5 of Swords state, because now you know. Now the truth has been revealed to you. Like I said, Saturn is making sure you know who you are, and it had to happen, unfortunately, through that heartbreak. But, you know, y'all's the lion. Y'all know that sometimes we don't know how strong we are until we have to be that strong. We don't know how bright we are until we have to be that bright, right? And now you know. If you ain't know, now you know. Like I said, aces and majors. Well, now we got the first aces, courts, and majors. So we have the first true minor here with the 5 of Swords. But I feel like that's just y'all sticking y'all claim, standing y'all ground. I've been feeling the 5 of Swords lately as you'll win either way. And so, Leo, I feel like you know you're going to be victorious. I feel like you know this Wheel of Fortune is turning. But there's a huge emphasis on making sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. And you may have to sort of rebalance your sort of social circles, right? You're redefining your orbit by defining those who orbit around you. Because it may be the case where you have a lot of opportunities coming in, a lot of people flocking towards you for whatever reason. I believe I said you may have a platform because the star card did come out, and that's 11th house energy, Aquarian energy. And you're a Leo, so, you know, Leos just naturally have people kind of sort of there. But you may sort of be in a moment or in a time of like redistricting folks. And I'm just going to start this. So, ooh, the Pride card is coming out at the bottom of the deck. Leo, y'all probably got a lot of love to give, a lot of power, and a lot of influence, maybe a lot of interests. The Pride Tarot I'm going to be using for Venus, and the Pride card is life, healing, sunlight, nature, serenity, and spirit. And it speaks to sort of every element and aspect of our lives. And the next card out is this Page of Cups, followed by the 4 of Cups. So, I mean, I guess I didn't really want to go here, but this is Venus. So, you may have been exposed to... So, you have this platform, right? You're a Leo. People flock to you. More often than not, I mean, I feel like Leos, I mean, y'all are what do they call them? Apex predators, right? I don't know if I necessarily call a lion an apex predator, but I don't think there are other predators that hunt lions. So yeah, y'all are like apex predators, right? Y'all the kings of the jungle. And so it's not that you don't go after what you want, and it's not that you can't, but as a lion, I feel like, and as that social whatever, you kind of sort of have a lot of people approaching you. You're the sun. You have a lot of people approaching your orbit. You're the light. You have a lot of bugs flying into you, right? Because you're the sun. Bugs fly into the light because when it's dark, that light is the sun. But when it's daylight outside, the bugs aren't flying towards the sun. They're bothering you. So I don't get it. Wait, I don't understand now. Because I'm like, it makes sense, like, bugs fly into the brightest light in the dark because it's like, it's the sun, you know? But when the actual sun is out and it's daylight, it ain't like all the bugs are flying into the sky and never coming back. They buzzing around living their life, but maybe it's because it's light enough outside that they can do what they're doing, right? And so when the sun when it's daytime, the sun is the brightest thing in the sky, but when everything is lit up, it's like there are other things to do. So maybe, and with the Four of Cups here, maybe you attract a lot of hurt and hurting people. Maybe you're a light worker. I said that for what, maybe Libra. But I say that because of the power of your position, or because of the presence of a platform that came out with the healer and the star. Also, the Archangel of Healing is down here. So it may be the case, and then we have this Ace of Wands up here when I'm talking about the bug zapper. It may be the case that the heartbreak that you went into, the heartbreak that you went through, the healing that you've done, and the things that you've done for yourself have put you in a space to help people, maybe in a way that you didn't necessarily feel that you could before. And I feel like you've done, and like cups can also be spiritual connection, right? So it's like you're connected, and then spirit is down here. So it's like you've done a lot of healing in a lot of different areas of life. You've grown a lot in a lot of different areas of life, and I feel like you can kind of sort of speak to a lot of different things, either through your connection or through your experience or through both. But what I was initially feeling is like you may be getting lots of offers from other people, because also when you are the sun and when you do play the space of that healing, it's almost like, you know, it comes with a certain amount of romantic interest. And with this Four of Cups, it's almost like, you know, you may have received a lot of romantic interest, but maybe not the one that you're looking for. Because the Four of Cups typically is depicted as, you know, someone sitting meditating under a tree or whatever, wanting something, wishing for something, with three cups in the background that they're ignoring, with a little cloud or an embodiment or a presence of spirit offering them a fourth cup, but them not taking it, right? And it brings to mind the story that someone told me of the woman who went meditating in the forest to encounter the Buddha. And she's meditating with her eyes closed in the forest, and someone comes along and they're like, "Hey, like, what's up? Do you need some help?" And with her eyes so closed, she's like, "Oh, no thanks. Like, I'm good. I'm just, you know, meditating, waiting for the Buddha." And then the person is like, "Well, you know, maybe there's something I can help you with. Like, what's going on?" And she's like, "You know, like, no offense, but I'm pretty sure you can't help me. I'm waiting for the Buddha." Her eyes still closed, and then the man is like, "Okay." And he walks away. And so she went into the forest meditating for the Buddha. The Buddha came to her. The man was the Buddha. He came to her. Her eyes closed. She rejected him twice. I think it may have actually been three times in the story, but it's twice now. Things are speeding up. We ain't got all day. Buddha got other people to sort of get to. And if your eyes aren't open and if you can't see it, or if you're not ready for it, it's going to pass you up. And so this card speaks to an element, again, like this was the relationship that has lost its spark. And it's like, Leo, you know, oh my gosh, the Four of Swords is left at the bottom of the deck. Speaking of chilling, I left on the table. I literally just realized that the Four of Swords was still over there. So I'm just going to slide this in the middle, and hey, maybe it'll come out after that Sun card or the Strength card. Talking about meditating in the forest with your eyes closed. Four of Swords, Four of Cups. Again, exactly. But it speaks to, like, you know, a relationship that lost its spark, its boredom. And like I said, you're the sun. So this may have to be something that you go back and reignite. And maybe it took for you to really learn yourself or know yourself on multiple levels. It took for you to do a little bit more of the healing before you realized or recognized what was before you, or before you can recognize what is coming your way, or before you recognize where you're going. Like with this Page of Cups, I don't know if this is you going somewhere. I don't know if this is something that came to you. This could be speaking about the past, because this is at the bottom of the deck, which is like the space that we're kind of sort of coming out of. And now you're sort of in this moment of boredom or a moment of whatever. But again, I feel like, Leo, you're going to have to be the one that goes out and makes whatever happen, because this is a relationship that lost its spark. And you're the sun. You're the light. You're the fire. Like, we got the Ace of Wands here. We got the Mother of Wands here. We got this Hermit that's the light. Like, you're bringing the spark. The Magician is down here. You're going to make this happen with the Wheel of Fortune. Like, you got to set this in motion. You got to be Superman, Leo. Looking for the... Oop, what card was that? The King of Wands? Leo energy, literally. So what is that? What's that? The Magician. the Magician came out. I was like, you got to make this happen. Talking about how you got to make this happen, Leo. And then as soon as I put that Magician down, this King of Wands when I go face down right on top of it. Like trying to hide. Like, nah, King of Wands. Fix fire, your energy with this Ten of Swords. And then here's the Strength card. I love the Strength card in this deck because it's so watery. And you see that orca? That killer whale? Apex predator. Who y'all know hunting orcas in the ocean? Nobody. Orcas may be one of the few whales or whale-like creatures that are actually, they like eat meat. Like they eat seals and stuff. Like baleen whales, they eat like krill and stuff like that. But no, like orcas with them teeth, they come in. Like baleen whales ain't even got teeth. They got them baleen plates. But orcas like, no, these teeth are made for chomping. Leo, there may be somebody that, or something, some opportunity you want to sink your teeth into. And it's like when you're building this empire, you know, maybe you want an emperor or an empress there that can sort of help you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you're going to have to be the one to make that move. Like the King of Wands tried to come out face down. And I don't know what that's about because the King of Wands is the one with the Magician. And the Queen of Wands is over here. And after the Magician, the King of Wands want to flip face down like he ain't got that one. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And the Ten of Swords coming after that King of Wands that fell down is about facing your inner demons. And it may be about accepting yourself. Because the King of Wands knows that they're hot-ish. And look at her on that motorcycle. I don't know where the chariot is at, but it's time for you to go make something happen. This was 16... 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the Four of Swords is going to end up coming out as the subconscious influence, Leo, when it comes to Venus, which is interesting because I was like, because I remember I had forgot it on the table and I was like, oh, it'll be so funny if that came out after Strength. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Where did the cards I put on the table go? Where did the cards I put on the table go? Where did the cards I put on the table go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's 39. So this is the top of the deck. Okay. It might be that one. Yeah, it's that one. All right. I was like, where did that card go? Okay. So, coming out at the top of the deck is the Six of Cups. And then this goes in the middle. And then this goes underneath. And coming out at the bottom of the deck is that Four of Swords. So it did end up making an appearance after all. And yes, I put it back in the deck, but there was no way that I knew that that would do that. And then left presiding is the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands comes out twice. And that King of Wands was trying to hide his face. So, court cards, aces, and majors up until sort of Saturn. On the bottom of the decks again, the Archangel of Healing, King of Cups, the Star card, the Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. So we got the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Star, and the Ace of Swords. So, starting with Venus. Venus is in Gemini. Now, that's a sextile to you. It's retrograde. Venus is bringing you an opportunity, Leo. Venus is bringing you an opportunity in this retrograde. Now, retrogrades a lot of times act off of karma, and they act off of the space that we were in before we entered them, right? So if there was something that you wanted to make movement on, maybe something that you were running from, hiding your face, because the King of Wands came out face down right on top of the Magician, which is the premier wand, and the King, supposedly the master of the suit of wands, is face down. But his queen is right here. So maybe this is more of a return to maybe a balancing of the feminine, the feminine and masculine sides of you. With the feminine side, that's all about the sort of like the creator, right? I mean, she literally gives birth, and she's the cardinal. She's the beginning. This is Aries energy, and Aries is all about making something happen. The father or the king is the fixed energy, which is all about sustaining something, right? It's why the stereotypical gender roles. The man went out to work to put food on the table. He went out and did some external action to provide sustenance to keep his family on the inside, right? So maybe with these queens, I don't know if there's like some substance abuse talking about sustenance, but anyway. So Venus has this Four of Swords, and Venus is like chilling. Now, this Four of Swords is about, we talked about the heartbreak. This is a moment of recuperation. This is recovery after the heartbreak. And it's also rest before the battle with the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is here. And the Three of Swords also came out with this Saturn deck. So, again, Saturn is in your 6th house. So, maybe when it comes to your livelihood, let's say that for some reason your personal life and your professional life were intertwined in a way. Oh, Aquarius is y'all 7th house. That would make sense for whatever I was thinking. Let me try to stay focused. Oh, let me timestamp this up real quick. Sorry, Leo. Give me one moment. Hold up. 42 minutes, Leo. I was just like, oh, Virgo, this is the latest I've ever started. 42 minutes for Leo. We're starting 42 minutes in. Are you serious? I had to put my hand on there because it's bright so I could see. 42 minutes. I'm going to say 42 minutes and 15 seconds. I can't believe this is starting this late. See, y'all probably be thinking, whatever. But it just be coming out. It just be coming out, y'all. I mean, Leo, y'all are literally building an empire. And so, like, if this is how we're starting it, I don't mind putting in a little extra time. Just like Saturn and all that Capricorn energy don't mind stalling you and holding you in a certain space for a minute, because with that Pride card that came out in the beginning, there are things that you need to have set in place, and you need to be solid on many, many, many different levels. And again, you need to have sort of your structure and your organization as far as the situations and people closest to you, and then the people further out, and then the people further out. Like, you need to have all of that in place, because once this thing takes off, it's probably really going to take off. Like, you have the Wheel of Fortune up there with Saturn, and that is a very, 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 very good thing, because like, that's literally why Saturn does what it does. It makes sure you're prepared and you're ready. Capricornian energy is the builder. It's coming up with a plan that will establish a business that will thrive and flourish for many, many, many years to come. Like, Capricorn doesn't do anything halfway. And Capricorn is very strict and meticulous, because it knows that, like, once you have your grand opening, once things go live, there's no undo, there's no redo. It's like we're live. This is unscripted, one take, action. And so maybe that's like, if you've been feeling like Saturn has been rocking you, or life has been just like pushing you and testing you, when you were already in a space of recovery maybe anyway, it's because you really need to be prepared for what's coming. And I feel like it's a lot of good stuff. But you're going to need to show up, and you're going to need to be ready, and you're going to need for your inner circle to be tight. You're going to need for the situations to align just right, because there's a lot that has an ability to come in for you. Like, you got this Ace of Wands over here, And this magician, you had the magician and the ace of wands that Pluto was kind of sort of bringing to the table. So if that ain't a lot, Leo, I don't know what is. Let me fix this a little bit. It is what it is, Leo. It is what it is. Until further notice. So yeah, subconsciously, it's like Venus is like, you know what? I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the heartache. I'm tired of the conflict. I'm tired of the tension. This is Cancerian energy. This is like, I want my home. Cancerian. This is Libran energy. But hey, maybe Cancer. What's y'all fourth house, Leo? Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. Yeah. I was like, y'all might have Scorpio in y'all chart somewhere. When did I say that? I said that, right? But I don't see any death cards. Is it because it's... I don't know why I said that. But yeah, your fourth house is Scorpio. That's lots of transformation. It's fixed, but it's also transformation. And so it could be the case that, like, you know, the people that you keep in your inner circle, the place that you call home, needs to be able to accommodate all of the transformation and change. And maybe whatever your lifestyle is going to be, is going to need to be able to accommodate that. And it makes sense for Leo because, like, y'all are the stars, right? So, like, y'all are the suns, which are the stars, the celebrities, right? That Leo energy is all about shining. Have y'all ever seen The Shining? But it makes sense that Scorpio is there. It's because, like, you're not going to be stagnant. Things for you are going to grow and evolve and change. And you need for your home to be able to grow and evolve and change with you. Because if it can't, you're just going to be cutting people out left and right. And it's like you can't keep uprooting your life. And maybe that's what Venus is really sort of sitting down here chilling with this Libran energy down here for. And Libra, like, Scorpio is your square, but Libra is your sextile. That means that it's an opportunity, right? Venus also rules Libra. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So it's sextiling you in the masculine sense, but it's squaring you in the feminine sense. And so it's like, you know, if you're the king of the jungle, sometimes you want to prop your feet up and be pampered and spoiled. Like, the male lions don't really do that much. It's the female lions that are the hunters or the huntresses. And they do all the, like, they kind of sort of do a lot of the heavy lifting, apparently. And the males just kind of sort of sit back and get worshipped. But Taurus, being the feminine side of Venus, is like, I'm the empress here. I'm the queen, and I'm the one who gets worshipped. And then you're like, excuse me, this is my show. And then Taurus is like, you may be the king of the jungle, but if you around here with bulls and cows and cattle, that means we're on the farm, and this ain't the jungle. So, you know, in the jungle you may be the king, but here on this farm, I'm top bull, and you're the little kitty cat in the shed that, I don't know, you ain't even sheep herding like that. I don't know what the cats do on the farm. They just kind of sort of roam around and you catch mice. You catch mice. You're pest control, and I'm the prize bull out here, right? And you're like, excuse me? Well, meet me out in the jungle and we'll see how quick I make a meal out of that. And you're like, okay, now things are starting to get hot. Calm down. Maybe that's the game that y'all play, Leo. I don't know. Y'all like to play with your prey before you eat and dive in, right? Anyway, coming out of that heartbreak and that heartache, Venus is like, you know what? I'm tired of people that I gotta cut out. I'm tired of fighting so hard. I want a place that I can chill in. I want a place that I can call home. And I want a place where I can rest easy. And Libra is all about creating that balance more so than finding it, because Libra is cardinal. And it's like through all of this craziness in this retrograde season, and maybe even in the past, it's like the Page of Cups came out here, didn't it? Yeah, it was the Pride card, the Page of Cups, and the Four of Cups. And so it's like through all of this, you're getting an opportunity to kind of sort of like, maybe through all of this craziness, maybe if this Four of Swords is a little bit of isolation, maybe if you've experienced the period of isolation or transformation, maybe there's one thing that's kind of sort of been, one thing that's held constant, or one thing that you know would be able to hold constant. And it's like with all of this retrograde energy, knowing the empire that you're going to be building, knowing all of the work that you're going to be doing, it's like, like I said, with Scorpio in your fourth house, knowing what can change and transform and grow and elevate and evolve as you change and transform and grow and elevate and evolve, and as your mission changes and transforms and grows and elevates and evolves, and as your home being the place that you find comfort, like knowing where you'll always be able to find that comfort. And I feel like that's what subconsciously Venus has been pushing you towards, because like it can be lonely at the top, right? And you don't want to be alone at the top. And you also don't want a bunch of sort of like flies and moths and mosquitoes sort of buzzing around you like you're a bug zapper at the top either. Like you want genuine connection up there. You want planets and situations and people who will orbit you because they're genuinely there to support you. And they're not just there, because it's a little cold where Pluto is, right? Because Pluto is fine out there, right? That's where Pluto should be, and so that's where we should keep Pluto. We can't bring Pluto closer in. If we bring Pluto any closer, it might become a moon for like Uranus or Neptune or Saturn, and they already got a whole bunch of moons, right? Maybe that's why Pluto needs all that space. Pluto was like, if I was any closer to the sun, Uranus would try to turn me into a moon, and I ain't got time for that. But Uranus and Pluto both sort of bring with them that element of transformation. Uranus is a lot more disruptive, and it's more like a rebel and rebellious than just straight up transformative, but it's funny how they kind of sort of share that, right? What if Pluto was one of Uranus's moons that escaped? Pluto was like, I'm the planet of transformation. I'm not a moon anymore. I'm freeing myself. And Leo, maybe it's time for you to free yourself. Maybe it's time for you to stop orbiting things that don't serve you, and it's time for you to start creating an orbit of things that do. But anyway, in all of what has been happening with Venus, so Libra is your sextile, and Venus is in Gemini right now, which is also your sextile. And so it's these opportunities for what you need and what that comfort would look like to be expressed to you. And now with Venus retrograde, it's an opportunity for you to get it. Right, and with the Six of Cups is all about us. I've been feeling it as us rewriting our past and rewriting our history and taking us out of a victim sort of place and rewriting ourselves as heroes instead of victims, right? And if your past was painful, then that's your tragic backstory. But, it's because of that backstory that you become this hero of today. When you write it as something that defines you and something that led you to be the deliberate creator that you are and the deliberate person that you are, and when it's like, these are the situations that have made me who I am, when you take that approach, you take the power from your abusers or from the people who mistreated you in the past, and you reclaim it and you turn that into something that propels you and fuels you moving forward, rather than something that holds you back and continues to keep you stuck in a space of being afraid, right? Being afraid of repeating the cycles, being afraid of attracting the same people, being afraid of your own greatness. The Six of Cups is all about rewriting that, and it's all about inserting joy in those places where maybe there would have been darkness. And also at the same time, it's about carrying that joy forward. Inner child healing, that's what that's about. And that's what, like, this is what it's playing out up top, right? So below the surface, it's like you not wanting to deal with any heartache or heartbreak anymore. It's you wanting to be in this place of peace. And then consciously, it's coming in as you, first of all, giving yourself peace through the past. But second of all, once you do that inner child healing, it's about you sort of continuing that on and manifesting and attracting people who will continue to do the same. And then here's that Three of Swords. Oof. The 3 and the 4 of Swords. The 3 plus the 4 is the 7. So if you continue to act out of this 3 of Swords space, or if you continue to allow the trauma of your past to be the space that you're predominantly in, it's going to continue to steal away all of these opportunities from you. And the 7 of Swords in this deck is basically you stealing away from yourself out of fear that you won't be accepted, out of fear that you won't be loved, out of fear that you'll be judged. And it's like you take away other people's ability to hurt you in this deck, but in general, you take away other people's ability to hurt you, but at the same time, you're taking away your ability to form true, deep connections with people. Like, if you can't be hurt, or if you're in the space of making sure you won't be hurt, then you're not going to reach that depth of connection that you are hardwired to get, because you're a Leo. Like, love is part of who you are. The romance is part of who you are. Showering people with your light and your vibrancy, and like, that's part of who you are. And it's like you're casting shade on yourself, right? It's like you're handing out all of the sort of eclipse glasses to people when it's like, it's already nighttime out because you ain't out anyway, but you're going to make sure that people don't see you. So it's like, So maybe with this being in the present, maybe you're still a little bit in the mode of operating in that. Maybe you're consciously doing a little bit more inner child healing. And maybe that's why we're coming into this sort of Five of Swords with the Saturn sort of default, this moment in this area of contention, because you haven't truly let this go. And once you truly let this go, you'll be able to relax your guard. Because in the space of Saturn, it's like subconsciously, I feel like you know that you're worth a lot more than what all your experiences are, or what all your experiences have brought you. You're worth more than how people have treated you. And so it's like you're beginning to manifest more. You're beginning to attract more because you know you're worth more. But are you going to accept the more? Right? Let's see. The Four of Pentacles. It looks like you're pretty closed off. I was so excited for this, Leo. But I guess with that King of Wands flipping out in reverse on top of the Magician, I should have known that there was something up. At the bottom of the deck for the Venus is that Queen of Wands, which is all about you sort of owning your dark side. But when you own your dark side, you kind of sort of have to release yourself from its hold on you. Like, owning your dark side it's part of it is accepting your flaws, accepting what other people may deem as like, whatever is like weird or whatever about you, and owning up to your past decisions in your life as it's been up until now. But that shadow work also comes with liberating yourselves from the chains that shadow holds on you. So not only is it you accepting your darkness, but it's also accepting the dark things that happen to you. And again, it's about putting it in the sort of framework of, this happened to me to make me who I am. My tragic backstory is what made me the hero that I am today. Like, all of that darkness is what encouraged me to shine this bright. Because when times got dark, I shined brighter. When times got dark, I shined brighter. And I wouldn't be this bright if things weren't that dark, because I wouldn't have had to be. Right? It's not like I'm necessarily trying to blind people, but I am going to outshine my darkness. And then with Saturn is bringing this Ace of Swords. So if you take that Ace of Swords clarity in the past to bring this down to the Four of Swords, where you could at least get some peace, and you put that Ace on top of this 6, you can get some movement, and then you can get everything that this Wheel of Fortune is bringing you. But it's almost like for some reason you're closed off to the real opportunities that are coming in. And like, the work of Saturn is not easy. And right now with Saturn being in Aquarius, it's opposing you. That would be in your 7th house, the house of relationships, the house of open enemies and open friends. And so maybe when it comes to the element of relationships, maybe you've been taken advantage of a lot in the past. Maybe your light hasn't been appreciated, and so again you chose to shine brighter. And it's like I said, you have all of these people sort of now orbiting around you as you come into whatever platform you have, whatever space you're coming into. Because again, the star is down here. The star came out somewhere, I saw it, right? The healer. But it's like, the more your empire grows, the more people you're going to have sort of coming after you and coming for you. And I think that's why it's so important for you to sort of If you can't establish that sense of home now, establish it. If you can't establish that sense of home now, at least it's important for you to know the types of people in situations that you can keep close to you and that you can get involved with, and the ones that are more detrimental to you than beneficial. And it seems like you're closed off here, but on the positive aspect, this could be you protecting what it is coming in for you from things and people that don't serve it. So, on the positive aspect of this Saturn sort of retrograde, because again, all of this has been teaching you lessons. Saturn's been sort of in conjuncting you, where it's like it's helping you see some things and it's preventing you from moving in other ways. It's almost like you're bowling with the gutter guards up. I don't know what I can't remember what they're called. The bumpers. You're bowling with the bumpers up so you don't get a gutter ball, and it's like it's making it easier for you to get a strike, but it's like you feel like you're limited. But it's like the ways that you've been limited are for the good of you. Like, we're keeping you from striking out. No, striking out in baseball is bad, but getting the strike in bowling is good, right? And so, maybe that's another thing. It's like, when you realize that the game that you're playing has changed, when you realize that the game that you're playing has changed, you'll see that the things that used to be bad and the things that used to be red flags aren't red flags any longer, right? Strikes used to be bad, but that's because you were playing, baseball. Now you're playing bowling, and strikes are good. Strikes are so good, in fact, that we're putting the bumpers up so you don't get the gutter ball. We're trying to keep you from throwing the ball down the gutter thinking that a strike is a bad thing to get, right? And that's why, like, Saturn's like, it may have been kind of sort of restricting you in some ways, but it's ultimately for your best. And this could be you, again, like, instead of you being closed off because of this heartbreak, this could be you sort of guarding the things that are coming into your experience, guarding the things that are working out for the better, and protecting them from people who would see it sort of fall apart, right? And here we have this Ace of Swords opposing the Four of Swords. So it's almost like the people who would keep you stuck and stagnant, and still, like with your Ace of Swords, knowing that you're destined for something greater. This is you opposing all of that. And you're like, no, I'm not going to be stuck anymore. I'm not going to continue to piddle around and play around with y'all. People and situations that pretend like you're for me when you're really not for me, when you're just interested in sucking the life out of me. You're interested in my warmth and my vibrancy and my vitality and the party that I bring with me wherever I go. But when it comes to me shining brighter, and when it comes to me actually getting to the places that I want to move in, y'all want to keep me stuck. It's almost like you have these things in your orbit that instead of them like orbiting around you as you move, it's like they're in your orbit, but they're keeping you sort of stationary in this space. It's a very sci-fi type of thing that I can't... It's like a static field or a stationary field generator or something like this. So you have all these planets sort of around you, but they're all like hitting you with this beam, right? And you think that they're, in the past, you thought that they were putting the spotlight on you and that they were celebrating you, but really it's the opposite of a tractor beam. Like, they're not beaming you up, it's like the stationary beam. So they're positioned in these places to keep you still and to keep you stagnant. And that's the light that they're really shining on you. Like, you think it's the spotlight, and like, no, this is a ray that's to keep you from moving, right? We're going to keep you in place right there. And now you're reaching the point with this Ace of Swords that Saturn brought you, and the Empress under this Ace of Swords, followed by this Death card, and the Three of Pentacles is over there. But with this Death, the Empress, and the Ace of Swords, like, something transformed in how you view yourself. And because it transformed in how you view yourself, the things that you are worthy of and the things that you know you are worthy of has changed. And now with that knowledge and awareness, you can cut out the things that no longer serve you, and you can stand boldly in opposition to those things that would keep you stuck, right? And so, yeah, this could be you guarding and protecting it. And then if this is you guarding and protecting it, then this Three of Swords here may be, like, you may be overly cautious right now. And, like, because, again, you're in this space where, like, Venus is like, I don't want to be hurt anymore. I don't want to go through that anymore. Like, I just want to chill. I just want to be happy. And like, I still want to do stuff, but I want to be happy. And that's why, like, you're just a little cautious with this. And you're protecting the things. So I don't think that's necessarily bad. And I think as we progress, you'll sort of come out of it. Because again, I mean, you have the Archangel of Healing, the Star, that Queen of Wands, and this Ace of Swords down here. So on the table, it may look like it's like you're figuring it out. You're learning as you go. You're learning as you go. I'm going to put that right here because I don't want to forget that title. And if it changes, it'll change. But I'll say you are learning as you go. Boom. You were, as in you are, not your, as in your. You are. You are. You're learning. You are. You are. You are. You are. Not your. You are. Yeah, you are learning. You are. You are. You're learning as you go. I'm sorry. So now we're moving into the space of Jupiter. So Saturn is locking down the things that it needs to lock down to keep us moving in the direction that is the best for us. Venus is kind of sort of over here just getting us to not go for the pitfalls and the traps that we usually go to. Venus is doing her best to not get us to repeat these karmic cycles, especially if the Six of Cups, if like the karmic cycles wants to rear their ugly heads again in this space where Venus is retrograde and Venus is trying to keep you strong. Like, no, remember what they did last time, and there's something out there better for you, and I feel like you know that. Now, Jupiter is bringing this Hermit. Jupiter is also in Capricorn, so Jupiter, like, not only is Saturn sort of like doing whatever it's been doing, but Jupiter is asking us to slow down as well, and it's asking us to be our most true and our most authentic self, because that's what's going to bring us success, right? The Queen of Wands, you see those eggs that she's sort of like incubating, that she's guarding, that she's tending to, right? That's this. It's like the more in tune you are with yourself, the more you shine in your authentic light, the warmer these eggs are, and the quicker they'll sort of be birthed and come into fruition with this Wheel of Fortune. But those are also the things that you need to protect, right? She's also protecting the eggs while she's incubating them. So she is warming them, giving them life, but she's also protecting them at the same time. And then that's what this Four of Pentacles here is. You protecting what it is that you care for, but it's you protecting it in an authentic light, not you protecting it in a sort of like, it's like the space from which you protect these things will be important, because it's almost like it's going to put a flavor on whatever your empire is. And now it's putting you in this Three of Pentacles space, which is exactly what this was about. And look, under this Three of Pentacles is this Four of Swords. And under this Four of Swords is the Seven of Swords. That's the four with the 3 into the 7 that I was talking about. So that just for me confirms that I was supposed to pick this card up and that I wasn't just being extra for the sake of being extra. Leo, this may be the longest video I've uploaded. I'm sorry. This is like, it was so short after Pisces and Aquarius, and then here comes Leo, the whole gosh darn sun. Like, nah, we need the full story. You're going to talk about us. It's our moment to shine. We don't care how long this is. You know, our attention span may not necessarily be that long, but we do appreciate, you know, you giving us the most of your time, because we're Leo and we're worth it. So under the Ace of Swords, Empress, Death card is this Three of Pentacles. So another way to take this, and again, it's like, you know, with all of that Capricorn energy, it's like you've been opposed in some ways, but you've also been blessed in some ways, right? Them putting the bumpers up helps you do better in bowling, but it also restricts you. But with this Three of Pentacles, maybe it speaks to the people that you've worked with. And maybe it's like through you coming to this space of loving and valuing and appreciating and caring for yourself, you began to attract people who would do that at the same time as you were attracting the everybody that comes with the spotlight, right? But it's like maybe the way that you go about partnerships is changing and transforming, because maybe something was revealed to you with this Ace of Swords. Maybe something was revealed to you as you were going through that transformation process, as things were changing around you, as you began to love and value and appreciate yourself. And like, I feel like this is you knowing the type of person that you want to work with now. because of whatever's been happening. And so again, here's this Three of Pentacles. And so it's like when you are your authentic self, you're going to attract people who align with that authenticity of you, who will want to see you succeed and do better, and who will work with you to create this empire to scale up this mountain. The Three of Pentacles speaks to work that cannot be done alone, or work that is extremely difficult to do alone, right? When you're climbing mountains like this, a lot of times it's best to do it in pairs, because then you can you do that thing where you buddy up, right? Where you tie yourself to each other. So if one person slips, the other person can hold you, right? And so it's very much that energy. But again, it's like, this may be someone that will protect this with you. Because you had the Queen of Wands twice, right? What is that? Ooh, the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is under this Queen of Wands. You have the Queen of Wands energy here twice. One actually on the table, one at the bottom of the deck. And so I feel like this would be someone who could also protect this with you, who will nurture and grow this with you. And there's almost this element of sisterhood, right? And so the King of Wands may not necessarily be here to be your partner in crime, but you do have another Queen of Wands here who may share your same vision, who may support you as a sister and not sort of compete with you in a catty sort of way that is possible sometimes. And you know that a lot of that catty sort of energy is possible anytime you have a minority or a person who wasn't appreciated in an area, who's trying to do something and who's trying to succeed. That crab in a barrel mentality sort of affects a lot of people. And so instead of sometimes, even in the music industry, instead of female artists celebrating female artists, you'll have female artists who attack each other. And then you'll see people saying stuff like, why do we celebrate these mediocre male artists in the industry when we have female artists who are many times more talented and more interesting? But we celebrate the mediocre male artists and we don't celebrate the fantastic female artists. And then at the same time, it's like, female artists are tearing each other down. So who's truly supporting? It's almost this energy of no one is supporting anyone. And I feel like with this Hermit and with the Three of Swords that came out here, it's like, I feel like, Leo, you're sort of, the Three of Swords is here. The Three of Swords and then the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So there's this there's this Venus-Jupiter bridge right here. And it's like, I feel like you're tired of doing things alone. You want somebody that you can work with now. And now that you've gone through everything that you've gone through, you know exactly what type of person that would be. Are there 4 eggs? Or is that 3 eggs? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 eggs down here. 3 eggs, 1, 2, 3. And 3 pentacles. Someone who will protect that with you. Now coming into the space of, I never took the thumbnail picture. I don't think I did. So I'm going to take that thumbnail. And then we have the Three of Wands. Y'all have 3, 3, 3. The only 3 that isn't here is the Three of Cups. And this is interesting because when I just did the Virgo, they had the 6 of Swords, the 6 of Cups. No, wait, let me think. They had the 6 of Swords, the 6 of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles. You have the 3 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, and the 3 of Pentacles. They didn't have the 6 of Cups. You don't have the 3 of Cups. That's interesting. I'm going to take this thumbnail real quick because I think I forgot to take it. So, well, Leo, since y'all are the sun, y'all are going to be one of the first thumbnails in a while where the middle cards are revealed, because I did that for Pisces. I forgot to take the one for Aquarius. Sorry, Aquarius. I did it for Pisces, but for the other ones, I believe they're all face down. But you're going to get these face up. So you have the 4 of Wands here, Leo, which is interesting, between the 3 of Wands and this Ace of Wands. And then you have this Magician down here, which could be another one, but it's all elements. And so when it comes to Pluto, it's like Pluto being the planet of magic through the occult and through transformation and through sex. Sex being an act between two that not only does it amplify sort of your energies when you come together. But, reproductive sex leads to the creation of something new, and it's also the planet of transformation, right? 3 is a very catalytic number. So it's like when you're talking about the space of the past, no matter what happens, the past will never change. But you can use your past as something to change you into the version of you that is no longer held back by that past, right? Because the past is always going to be there, but you can take the sting out of it, number one, and you can transform it into something that makes you the hero that you are destined to be, again, number 2. And so over here with Pluto, it's like Pluto is wanting to return your magic to you. And then you have this whole gosh darn Ace of Wands, sacred fire, consciously. So the subconscious is like, we need to put you back in your power. Pluto was like, okay, you need to get back in your power right now, because there's something for you to begin to do, or there's something for you to begin to put in place. And it's going to require a whole lot. And look, here's the devil right here. The devil is right behind this archangel of healing. So the devil is further in the past. Like, you've already done the healing. The devil is behind me. We've healed from you. Like, don't need that toxicity no more. You can always give in to it. Like, it's always there. But you've healed beyond it. Like, you are capable of coming out of it now, if you so choose. And if you so choose, honestly, is if you act like it, because it doesn't matter what you choose. Like, if you so choose, like, mentally what you choose, but if you so choose as, like, also physically the things that you choose to do, right? But up here, we have this Ace of Wands, which is about this new fire within you. This could be a revelation of the direction that you're going to be heading in, right? What, Leo, you have every element on the table. You have cups, you have swords, you have pentacles, and you have wands, which is interesting because some of the readings didn't have every element. And I was like, I know Pisces didn't. I don't think Pisces had any air. And I was like, Pisces, there's no air on this table. Why isn't there air on this table, Pisces? This is concerning me. I don't know why this is concerning me, Pisces, but there's no air on the table, and I find that concerning. I mean, you got the Magician down here brought by Pluto, so that's like some heavy magic. Manifestation ability, all that kind of stuff. But you have all of the elements here, and the Magician is here. So I was like, yeah, you have all the elements here. So good job on that, but now you just need to learn how to use it. You need to put it together in a way that'll work for you. And then in the subconscious, we have all swords and majors. So here's the 9 of swords, but between the 4 and the 5, the 9 of swords is all about you. It's a space of anxiety, and it's a space of worry, and it's a space of staying up at night. But I was just watching somebody, and he said the 9 of swords can be good because it gets you to move. I can't remember exactly what he said. But he was like, the 9 of swords can be good because it gets you to move, right? It's like you reached a certain point of, like, you've stayed up enough, you've worried about it enough, it's time to put it to bed. And so you have the 4 and the 5. And so I think you are putting it to bed. You're putting it to bed in a sense of you fighting to maintain this peace. And maybe that'll be you cutting out anybody who comes and disrupts that peace. But then here we have the Hermit. So, like, we move from swords into the majors. So yeah, here's the 9 of swords, sort of staying up at night worrying about this, and then here's the majors. Okay, I'm going to go in with the Hermit, I'm going to fix everything I need to fix internally, and then boom, I'm going to start manifesting with the Magician. And then you have this Wheel of Fortune up here. Here's a 1, and here's a 1. And then the Sun, which is your energy, is also a 1. 19 is 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and then the 10 is the 1, which is this Magician. And then here's the wand. So it's like if you're on fire with all of these new ideas, if you're brighter than you've ever been, or if you're feeling the surge of fire within you on the conscious level, that's because subconsciously Pluto was like, or behind the scenes, under the surface, Pluto was putting you in a space to reclaim your power. And I feel like this is a power that you've been seeking with that politic, the 3 of scepters. Like, I think this is a power you were asking for. It's like you were asking for spirit, you were asking your angels, you were asking for God. Like, what is the thing that I'm supposed to do with my life? And how can I be the best version of myself to actually do it? And so when you made that request, it ushered in all of this healing. Oh, well, I'm going to put you back down. The tale resumes. Okay, I'm going to grab a message because I accidentally picked her up. Oh my gosh! And it's the Four of Wands. Oop! And then is that the Ten of... No, that's the Six of Cups. Another card just fell on the floor, so I guess I'll make note of it. Okay. This is an all upright deck, and this card fell on the floor, and I picked it up in reverse. So I'm only going to do this because I accidentally picked up this Page of Wands, and I've been seeing her a lot lately because I wanted to pick both of these up. So when you made that wish for whatever your life's purpose is, whenever you made whatever wish you made to Spirit, whatever you went manifesting, you found it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's honestly fortunate, but going through it, it's unfortunate. It comes attached to all of the things that sort of prevent us from doing that. And so we have to cut all these cords. We have to do all of this healing before we can claim any of what this is. And then we have to go through all of this again to claim this, including this Three of Swords. And then the page, I've been seeing this as like the tail resumes. Because if you cut off certain lizards' tail, they'll grow back. And that lizard has its tail. So it's time for a tail to resume. Right, the Tail came back, but the Tale, the story, is starting up again. So it may have been paused. And the message that she's bringing, I just picked up the deck and put the card on top, was this Four of Wands. And I love it. I love it. And because I was literally just talking about the Four of Wands between the Three of Wands and that Ace of Wands. And then here comes the Four of Wands to confirm. And the Four of Wands in this deck is in the shape of a wheel. And then what do we have right here, if not this Wheel of Fortune? And then the card that came out on the bottom of the card that fell on the floor is this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the scarab speaks to Khepri, one of the sun gods or goddesses, I can't remember. One of the solar deities from Egyptian mythology, I believe. A solar deity, and you're the sun, and it's like this Knight of Pentacles is in reverse. I think it's time for you to move, Leo. But I mean, look, and then this King of Wands is like, okay, like, pick me up. What about me? This King of Wands is like, okay, but what about me? Archangel of Art and Grace. He also came out in the Pisces reading, so. But yeah, he's like, what about me? There's that King of Wands. He's chilling there, and like I said, it's time for you to move. It's time for you to show your face, King. But yeah, this politic Three of Wands is all about... And this deck is the story of three wise men coming together to get a prophecy of how to move forward, right? And then if we follow this sort of like line in the present, the way to move forward is to find people that you can work with, find people who will build you up and build with you towards this, people who can protect the vision with you, but also people who you don't have to sort of guard and protect yourself from, who maybe take you out of the space of the Three of Swords, heartbreak. Right? And this is kind of sort of like everything sort of that you're in right now. This is how things are playing out on the outside, and this is what's happening on the sort of inside or on below the surface to get all of this sort of up at the surface. But you have the Ace of Wands here. I feel like you have the fire to move forward. You may not necessarily know what you're doing with it. You may feel like you're still doing more healing, but the devil at least is behind you. So I feel like there are certain doors that you can comfortably close. Excuse me. But with the Three of Pentacles, I saw it twice. I feel like it's time to find someone that you can work with who will guard and protect this with you, or who at the very least will work with you, but you're going to need to be in the space of authenticity to do that. You're going to need to shine authentically. Shine on authentically. Maybe that's what I'll call this. What did I have before? I don't know. You'll see the title when I... Hold on, wait. I'm going to type it before I forget, though. Because I will forget, Leo. I will forget. Ooh, maybe I'll put on both. Yep, I'm probably going to do both. Okay. All right, Leo, this video is, I think, the longest I've done. So, I mean, I guess if it was going to be anybody, it would be you, right? So, thank you, Leo, for lighting up my life. I want to say a collective thank you to. Oh, this mustache hair is real long. This beard hair, sorry. Unfortunately, they're all. Wait, nope. That was just the dead beard hair attached to another beard hair. I thought it was long, but it wasn't. So, Leo, if you got somebody riding your coattails and that who ain't even really contributing to you, it may be time to pluck them as well. But anyway, I would like to say a collective thank you to all the Leos because I went around for a long time misattributing what Leo energy actually is, thinking that I didn't like Leos, but then like I got into astrology like last year, right? And so as I'm seeing all these birthdays pop up on Facebook, I'm like, whoa, wait, I actually love Leos. Like, what? And then one of my good childhood friends is a Leo, and he's one of the most caring, kind, compassionate, fun, loving, and fun people I know. And I don't see the ego in him at all. And again, it's all about sort of balance. And, you know, I feel like because we all kind of sort of compensate for things, right? And we all sort of try to make up for the things that we feel we lack in some other ways. And I feel like with Leo, if you ever sort of maybe doubt yourself, and again, I'm not a Leo, so I don't know, but like maybe if you ever doubt yourself, you kind of sort of go to that extreme of, you know, acting so confident that you maybe border in the area of ego. Or maybe it's like you need ego to compensate for something, right? We all compensate in different ways. And that can be one of the ways that Leo compensates. But anyway, I hope you have exactly the time that you want to have. And I hope you are acting in alignment to have that time. And I will catch you, Leo, the next time I see you, Leo. And if I never see you again, Leo, that's fine. I just hope you're out there shining and your light in the way that it needs to shine. Because, I mean, you have a lot going on and a lot that you're capable of. Don't let this potential go unrealized and unactualized. Don't let this empire exist only in your dreams. Like, it's going to be a process, it's going to be a journey, and the growing and the evolution will probably continue for a while yet. But as long as you keep moving authentically in your own light and in your own right, it's going to be a dream that you can make a reality. So, best of luck out there, friends.